That's the one, alright. We were born of nightmares. To take over this world, we made the windfish sleep endlessly. And if he doesn't wake up, the island never disappears. This is pretty much the final boss right here, though he goes through so many different phases. This will be a very long fight. Not a very long fight, but longer than what we've seen before. His first form looks like just this jelly bean thing, and all you need to do to defeat it is just sprinkle some magic powder on it. Pretty much everything else will just cause it to dissipate entirely. It doesn't take that many hits. Alright, looks like that's it for that. So now he transforms into Dark Wizard. Pretty much has exactly the same attack pattern as Ganem from Link to the Past. I need to play tennis with the boss here. Dead Man's Volley, whatever you want to call it. Attack the beam, knock it straight back into him. A few hits of that'll get me through this phase. I think sometimes I'll throw a different beam entirely, one that I can't just cleanly reflect back to him. Or at least Ganem did. I don't know if he does. Alright, well that's it for Phase 2. Now he's gonna transform into his next item, which looks like it's just a rehash of Moldorm, which looks like I should probably be... I personally should be afraid of, considering how badly I did against him before, but keep in mind, then I only had 3 hearts. Now, with this, it should be much easier, and I've got a wider area, too. Same pattern, or same strategy still works, you just need to hit his tail. It'll take a few more hits, obviously, but that aside, nothing too much to this. Alright, we're done here. Next, he'll transform into Ganon. Yeah, he somehow does make an appearance here. In order to defeat him, I'm going to need to dash into him several times, while avoiding his fire bats. His attack pattern is basically is very similar to the one he used in Link to the Past. He'll just do it in a slightly different order. Doesn't take that many hits, luckily, though. Alright, he's going around. I don't remember what I'm supposed to do here, though. Alright, we'll try that. Well, that worked. Alright, now he goes into his last phase, and unfortunately this one's actually also very easy. The way the game, I think, wants you to handle this is to shoot arrows into his eye when it opens up here. But using the boomerang, you can make this much, much faster, if I can get a hit on him. Yeah, it's a one-hit boss. Otherwise, we'll have taken like 20 or 30 arrows. Definitely, that alone should be incentive to pick up the boomerang earlier. Now if I climb the stairs here, which will ascend to probably the top of the egg. Looks like the heavens of the egg for some odd reason. I don't know how an egg has clouds. The owl will say his final words. I've defeated the nightmares, proving my qualities of the hero. And the owl reveals he's actually part of the windfish's spirit. Now, how I actually came to this world, not actually totally clear, aside from the fact that this is all just a dream or coma fantasy, depending on how you want to interpret it. And all this was just a matter of defeating my inner demons. Now we see the windfish here. Kind of funny looking. And speaks in all caps. Don't you know never to do that unless you're shouting? Or you really, really want attention? Don't you start. Don't. So... yeah, he pretty much says what I just mentioned. It's this really is just a big dream. Let us awaken together. And now we'll play the songs again, or the instruments again. The world will disappear. Just like the Windfish said it would. But let's face it, I don't belong here. Or Link doesn't belong here. I have a home to return to. And honestly, I think it's a bit of a downer ending that this place turned out never to exist, you know? I mean, personally, I think the All Just a Dream thing, they can make that work, at least if they have resolution on the dream, which, in this case, they really do. I think it's so rare that they actually make that work. And we're staring at the sky. Are we awake? Wow, that's kind of hard to see with the colors the way they are. Okay, better shot, yes. So this whole time, Link has pretty much just been hanging on to driftwood from that ship that crashed way back in the intro to this. And he's still on that blood-red sea, too. And yet, oddly enough, in spite of the fact that this clearly seems like a dream world, Windfish is still floating up ahead. And I'm sure that part's well open to interpretation on whether or not any of the stuff in this game actually happened. And quite frankly, I don't really have an opinion on that one way or the other. I mean, you can kind of use just the fact that this entire thing was a dream to kind of place where in the timeline it appeared, simply because, I mean, if it's a dream, it's going to be based on his own personal past experiences, so you can kind of take what you think was, whichever game you thought was closest to this one in terms of game mechanics and the geography, and say it's that Link's experience. I think I mentioned, or at least Caption Guy mentioned, that I think this game takes place somewhere with the same link as Link to the Past and the two Oracle games. And if you look at the geography of Koholint Island and the worlds of Hyrule, Labrina, and Holodrum, you can kind of make out some very strong similarities, along with a lot of the characters seeming similar to, I mean, mirroring Link originally confused for Zelda. They had very similar sprites in the Oracle games, that's one explanation you can give to that. But I think I mentioned already also that the timeline's very open to debate, and I don't think we're ever going to find out exactly how that worked. At least not without some clarification from Nintendo. But that's not my place to say, really. What is my place to say is the quality of this game. It's an excellent game, and honestly, I'd recommend it to anyone who has enjoyed any of the Zelda games, especially the two-dimensional ones. This one's kind of an unsung hero of the series just because it hasn't been re-released in a while, unlike pretty much every other console game, so it seems a little lesser known. But that shouldn't stop you. If you can track down a copy of this, or on either the original that I have here, or the Game Boy Color, I strongly recommend it. Probably one of the better games in this series, up there with Link to the Past, Ocarina of Time, and, well, you're gonna decide for yourself what else belongs in that list, really. And with that, we bring ourselves to the end of this series. I'm OC Trinity, thanks for watching.